Two athletes were recently in the news for unfortunate reasons, but their lives do teach us some valuable lessons for our own existence. One athlete developed chest pain on an international trip. The diagnosis was delayed by geography, travel, and time. The other athlete's heart stopped completely on live television. One never made it home, the other returned to active elite football. These two stories tell us the difference between a heart attack and cardiac arrest. Jaspal Rana was one of India's greatest shooters. Asian Games champion, World Championship medalist, Arjuna awardee, Padma Shri recipient, coach, mentor to his mentees who subsequently brought laurels to the country by winning Olympic medals. A giant of Indian sports. Then came chest pain. Reports suggest symptoms began while traveling internationally during or after a long flight, and that detail matters because in cardiology, every minute counts. We often say time is muscle or time is myocardium. The longer a coronary artery remains blocked, the more heart muscle cells die. Even when patients eventually receive excellent care and successful angioplasty, the damage to the muscle may already have been done. That is why cardiologists become concerned whenever there is a delay between symptom onset and reperfusion. The artery can be opened, but dead myocardium cannot be instantly restored, and that is why it is essential to report promptly with chest pain. Many people think the stent was successful, so the danger is over. Actually, a second battle begins. After a major heart attack, cardiologists watch for three categories of complications. Firstly, plumbing complications, which is stent thrombosis despite best-in-class antiplatelets, recurrent infarction, residual ischemia. Secondly, electrical complications, ventricular tachycardia degenerating to ventricular fibrillation, complete heart block, atrial fibrillation. And thirdly, rarely, mechanical complications like a free wall rupture, a ventricular septal rupture, pupillary muscle rupture causing mitral regurgitation, and also pump failure by large damage. We do not know the exact mechanism which caused Jaspal's death, but these are complications cardiologists worry after a major infarction. But what if the artery is not the problem? Let's look at Christian Eriksen. Many of you remember 2021. Christian Eriksen collapsed at the European Cup of Soccer in cardiac arrest in front of a horrified stadium. He survived because of two things that arrived in time: immediate CPR from the pitchside team and a defibrillator. His problem wasn't plumbing. His problem was electricity, ventricular fibrillation, a lethal arrhythmia. Without immediate CPR and defibrillation, survival was unlikely. Fortunately, he received both and survived. He was implanted an implantable cardioverter defibrillator, an ICD. An ICD continuously watches every heartbeat. If a lethal rhythm develops, it can deliver life-saving shock therapy. But then came a challenge many people never heard about. And then he did something extraordinary. He wanted to return to professional football. At the time, Eriksen was playing for Inter Milan. Italian sporting regulations generally do not permit athletes with an ICD to compete professionally. Suddenly the question wasn't, can he survive? It became, can he ever play again? Many thought his career was over. Instead, he returned. First with Brentford, then with Manchester United, then the World Cup, a goal for Denmark at Euro 2024. His story became one of the most remarkable examples of life after a sudden cardiac arrest till last week. 7th June 2026. Eriksen went down again, this time during a Denmark friendly, clutching his chest. He got up. He walked off the pitch under his own power. He was home with his family within a day. That is not story of a failure. That is the system working, where 2021 nearly killed him, 2026 was survivable because the protection was already in place. What this teaches every one of us: a heart condition is not always a life sentence against exercise. With the right diagnosis, the right device, and expert guidance, even elite sports can be possible. Return to play is a careful, individualized decision, never a solo one, but it is no longer automatic no. Bystander response is everything. Eriksen survived in 2021 because people around him knew how to do a CPR, and a defibrillator was just there. It is the difference between collapse and death. The important lesson is that an ICD does not cure, it did not remove the underlying substrate, it protected against the consequence. It protected against the dangerous rhythm. That distinction is critical. Jaspal Rana teaches us why delays matter and that period after a heart attack is still vulnerable. Eriksen teaches us why defibrillators matter and can save lives, and why we should do ECGs before high-intensity sports. This is the part which nobody talks about. And here's what worries me most. Not on a football pitch, but in our gyms. Eriksen collapsed in front of the best emergency medicine in the world. Most young Indians who collapse don't have that. Every few weeks we read it. A 22-year-old, a 30-year-old, perfectly fit, drops dead during a heavy workout. No warning, or so everyone says. But often the warning was there. Fainting, breathlessness, palpitation, family history of sudden death, and nobody looked. That is why we are motivating and pushing several state governments to back pre-participation cardiac evaluation, a simple history, an examination, and where indicated, an ECG before intense training begins. It is cheap, it is scalable, and it catches the silent conditions, the channelopathies, the cardiomyopathies that an ICD only addresses after they've nearly killed you. And one more honest word, during exercise, more is not better. The beast mode, the steroids, the unsupervised overtraining, the ego lift, the heart is not impressed by. Overgymming does not build a stronger heart. In the wrong substrate, it may trigger the very arrhythmia we're trying to prevent. Ultra athletes, unfortunately, don't live longer, and we call it the Philippides syndrome, but we will discuss that on another day. Train hard, but train screen and train smart.